Hi folks, I'm Doug at Dizzy Lizzie's and I've got a really interesting question to ask. Who thought that putting a metal bolt being held by a plastic cover is a good idea? If they were to put some anti-seize in there, it might help. But then, when the bolt seizes onto the nut, you try to undo it and it spins, it can cause all sorts of fun and games. And here's an example. Now, I've got a Stihl FS 40 that come in, and as you can see, the shaft's a bit bent. Apparently run over. Because it's got a flexi shaft in it, no problem. But I need to change it over because, yeah, that is knackered. That is slack. That is dangerous in my opinion. So I need to change the grass protector guard over. Sorry, yeah. You can see over there, there's a new one with the new shaft on it. But I've got to change this over. And there's the problem. That nut is seized in there. So as soon as you try to undo it with a bolt, it spins and it chews the plastic up. Now sometimes when it's like this, you can put a screwdriver down there to help jam it, and it might go. Give it lube. You can't put heat on it because it'll melt the plastic. But in this circumstance, I can put my Dremel on there, as you can see, with a cutting attachment, and I can cut off these sides, grab that nut with a spanner and undo it that way. But there are other times where when that plastic bolt, or when the plastic around that bolt gives up, it causes a lot of problems. Now here's a good example. You've got a plastic back and you've got these two bolts here which have got captivated nuts on the inside. Now recently a customer who had a new machine, one of these fell out, tried to refit it in, cross-threaded it and chewed up the bolt. Well, the problem is though is that if I was to remove all this plastic, which will cost time and money, and then put a new bolt in there, the bolt's going to spin. So I basically drilled the hole out and put a bolt through it with a nut and clamped everything down, and that saved him the cost of the whole of the repair at the back. Plus the simple fact of the matter is the bolt would have spun when I tightened it up. So what do you think? Should those bolts be lubricated so they don't seize up? Or is it just another, don't worry, it's a cheap machine, if anything goes wrong they can just go and buy a new machine? And if you ever had to do one of these alternative repairs, what have you done to get it going? Take care folks, and see you next video. Bye.